Louisiana is known worldwide for the production of sugarcane, the sweet crop we often talk about here on the show. But did you know there are nearly 10,000 acres of sweet potatoes grown right here in the Bayou State? This week, TWILA's Karl Wiggers visits his first sweet potato farm and shows us how farmers are enjoying great harvest weather this year.
The perfect storm. That's what many referred to when discussing the harvesting and marketing of many crops in 2018, mostly with soybeans. Acadia Parish farmer Michael Garber was one of the victims of that perfect storm, but his soybeans were not the only casualty.
Our soybean crop, we were able to harvest about half of it, and most of what we were able to harvest was heavily damaged. Some of that we couldn't even sell. We actually had to dump it out of the bins eventually. Sweet potatoes, we lost a third of the crop in the field. And similar to the soybeans, a lot of what we brought in had, additional damage.
Garber says the wet spring had this year off to a challenging start as well.
It did hurt, especially our sweet potato crop early with some of the big rains in June. Summer has been pretty good. It's been good average weather during the summer so far. The fall is starting out, with favorable weather conditions. So overall, this has been more of an average to better than average, weather year for us so far.
Getting the crop out of the ground is only part of the work. Then it's on to Matthew Garber to find a buyer for all of these sweet potatoes.
Our general market right now is from Texas to Minnesota, all the way to Nova Scotia and Florida.
Those are the outer four corners of the Garber's market, but they also are putting these sweet potatoes in Louisiana grocery stores.
Rouse's is a customer of ours, has been for a long time. Associated Grocers in Baton Rouge takes our product. The Louisiana producers try to supply the Louisiana market as much as possible.
Garber takes pride in knowing that the crop that he and his family bring in is helping to feed other families across the country.
A lot of our stuff gets dumped on the shelf and our name, it does not get put out there, and that's fine, but it is neat when we know it's there, even though our name is not advertised. We're not stuck on our farm recognition. Our personal satisfaction off of that is enough.
The Garbers typically wrap up sweet potato harvest at the end of October, and they're on track to do that this year. For comparison, last year with the extremely wet August and September, Michael said they were still digging for sweet potatoes in mid-December, and it was crazy. Kristen, going to my first sweet potato farm, I grew up in Franklin Parish, and in the north part of the parish we have Black Gold. Dawson Farms was what it was when I was growing up. On the south side of the parish we had Thornhill Farms, both two really, really large sweet potato operations, and I'd never even seen the crop harvested.
I was going to say, you're in the heart of sweet potato country, and the sweet potato research station is in your parish.
I know. I felt really silly as I was on the farm the other day with Michael. I was like, I've actually never seen this. This is new to me. I've seen, video, and I've done stories about Lamb Wesson, which is also just north of the Franklin Parish, but never seen it harvested, and I was just blown away by how neat it was.
It was really interesting and different.
So different.
What you grew up with, especially.
Yeah, you can see in the video all the work they're doing by hand.
Yes.
Every one of these is pulled out by hand. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, so you brought one back with you,
yeah, I brought you something. You often ask us, what'd you bring me? What'd you bring me? Got you a sweet potato.
You shouldn't have. You didn't even wash it.
I didn't wash it yet.
You didn't wash it. You brought me a dirty.
Wash that before you get ready to cook it later on.
I'll fling the dirt on you. No. Karl Wiggers, thank you so much for the sweet potato and a great story.
You're welcome.
Well, still to come on TWILA, kids across the state will be soaring during National 4-H Week, which includes a workshop on drone usage. Also, how are millennials shaking up the agricultural world? We have the answer and a few laughs in this week's TWILA Boost. Stay with us.